It's a good idea to know somebody who understands taxes. We just had a great conversation before the show here. You're going to want to learn from this one, everybody. Stay tuned. Welcome everyone to Your Little Castle Show. God has blessed me with the opportunity to meet experts and people that know what they're doing and people that can help the cowboy even. We've talked about this. If you're a business owner, you will want to listen to this show because taxes. If you don't understand your taxes, you are throwing money away and you could get in some serious trouble. We brought in a couple experts here. Tanika on the far end over there, Darla right next to me here, and it's Lime Life Tax Relief Experts, based out of Creve Coeur here in St. Louis.
Yes.
Well, thank you ladies for coming to join us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. This has been enlightening already. I'm learning. I'm going, really? Oh, was that? Oh, all right. I'm not in so much trouble. I thought you want to make sure the tax stuff, man, it can get to you. But before we get started here, let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Care House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle that hopefully you've had a tax expert that's helped you with. So Lime Life right here, Tanika and Darla are going to explain to us corporate background, did the corporate thing, big companies, and said, hey, you had to get some of that culture out of your system a little bit. It's just a little different. Nothing wrong with the corporate stuff, but it's just a different mentality. And when you're running your own business now, very successful, and I've already doubled my knowledge with regard to taxes since they've been sitting here. So with that, let's dive in here. Tell me, what led you each here? Why did you guys decide to become tax? Is it fair to say tax experts?
Yes.
Right. So what led you here? Why did you say? Who would start with that one?
I'll start with that
Tanika,
one.
yeah.
Tanika, yes. So Darla and I, we both came together, but we have two very unique stories. But I am an electrical engineer. Degreed electrical engineer.
Okay.
And started out working with automotive and then moved into aerospace and the FAA and FDA and landed in commercial goods where I met Darla.
Okay.
So then from there, we decided, it was during the pandemic, we decided that we had this opportunity to help some of our friends and families with their businesses. And what I'll say, the rest is history. And I'll turn it to Darla too.
Yeah, Darla, give me a little bit of your background too.
Absolutely. So I am a chemical engineer by design, and I started off also in automotive, then I went into food and beverage, and finally into consumer goods. Almost 20 years of corporate experience. And again, during the pandemic, well, even before the pandemic, I got into engineering management. So I started, really bringing home good money. And I started asking my accountants, what should I do with my money? And I got horrible advice. I was told, oh, it's a good problem to have. Consider yourself blessed. Just like save more money. And I'm like, well, I'm maxing everything. What else can I do? Oh, I don't know. And then I had a guy literally tell me, have a kid or buy a house. And I was like, well, which one can I get rid of easier? But it still didn't seem like great advice. So I decided to just start reading for myself. I mean, we're engineers, right? We solve problems. We don't care what the problem is. So I started reading and I was like, oh, okay, I like this. And I started preparing my taxes, and then my family started asking me to prepare their taxes. And then I started getting more clients. And like Tanika said, the rest is history. And we literally just kind of came together and said, we can bring all of this corporate experience and bring it into small business America, and that's exactly what we've done.
Well, I mean, how many people just like they're terrified of taxes? I guess it's something you're going, is the government going to come knocking on my door? Am I going to, they get all the guys, the bad guys, they always get them with taxes. Al Capone and all these guys, they said, oh yeah, well, we couldn't catch them on a lot of things, but we got them on taxes.
You didn't pay taxes on your illegal activities, so you're still mine.
Illegal activities made you a lot of money, so we're going to take the tax money that you owe us, and you're going to go to jail for a while. But yeah, I mean, people, it's an intimidating. I've had a couple letters. I had one time. I'll share some public. I got they have connection to your bank account now, right?
They do.
And all of a sudden, I looked down. I'm like, I said $1,200 just disappeared. And I looked at this tax, whatever U.S., whatever Fed, And I'm like, what? So I got on the phone, and thank God I had the connection and got through to whoever, and I was talking to them, and they're like, oh, you did pay that. I'm like, geez, well, they could just come in and take it if they want to. And that's it.
They give you a few notices
Yeah,
first.
right. But probably I had some, and I was just like, wow, that was just gone. But better have somebody on your side that could do this. All right, well then, obviously this has become a passion of yours. What is it that fuels that passion? I mean, what is it that you most enjoy? You could start off with that one for me.
What fuels my passion is being able to help people, because like you mentioned, taxes are scary. And I'll tell you, the number one rule is don't ignore those notices, because they can reach your account. So our passion is to solve problems and to help people and to take the scary out of their tax situation and to calm their fears.
Yeah, that's a great strategy for life. Most people, like I said, this is not an area of specialty. But if you're not good at, pouring cement, okay, then you got a crooked cement driveway. But if you don't do your taxes right, what's your passion on this, Darla?
So my passion was, we're all considered kind of, middle America, right? We're that middle class. And who wants to work your tail off? Most of my clients, I make them sit down and do the math with me. And I go, how many months of a year do you work just to give the money to the government? On average, it's about 3.5 to 4 months that you're working 40, 60 hours a week, and you literally just gave it all away. So I care about your legacy. What are you leaving? What are you creating for yourself? As far as what are you building with wealth? What are you going to leave behind to the ones that you love? That's the reason you're working. So let's keep more of it in your control.
Great strategy, yeah. People talk about that. At what point do you become tax-free or tax-independent? You're dedicating that much time of your life. I remember when I was, especially as an employee, do you get taxed more heavily as an employee? Is that what you're saying? It's best to own a side business. It's best to own a business.
Absolutely.
These are all tax benefits.
The tax code favors those who own businesses and have real estate, hands down.
Okay. And Tanika, this is what you help people to figure out.
Absolutely, and help people to understand that just because you may be in a sticky situation with the IRS, that you don't have to fear that situation. There are avenues, but you need representation. And so that's why I decided to become an enrolled agent, so that I can help represent our clients before the IRS, because you can call and you can try to DIY it yourself and you can try to fix the situation yourself, but you don't have the playbook. We have the playbook.
No playbook, everybody. It means you don't even have a plan for what you're doing. I played football. There was always a playbook. There was always a strategy, right? Baseball, a little more as you go, but there's still strategies that you understood about the way the game is played. And if you don't understand the way the game is played, you're giving away money and potentially setting yourself up for some problems.
Absolutely.
What does an enrolled agent mean? What does that title mean?
An enrolled agent is a license you get from the IRS. It's a 3-part test that you pass, but it essentially means that I am able to represent a client before the IRS just as an attorney or a CPA can.
Okay, important, yeah. So there's some legal means there that tell
Absolutely.
people.
The only thing an enrolled agent is unable to do is to represent in court, but anything else they can represent before the IRS.
And if it's gotten to court, then something went wrong, probably.
Very
Very wrong.
Yeah, it went left.
All right. And Darla, you've got some expertise and some titles. We make our titles before the show, everybody. Tell me your title here.
So I focus on tax planning and tax strategy.
Strategist, yeah.
So there is a new certification coming out for tax advisors that will be dropping in January, and I will have that, and it's called a Maverick Advisor Certification, meaning I truly just specialize in tax planning and tax strategy.
Okay, so they've decided to take some lingo from Top Gun and said Maverick.
Maverick.
Tax, and that's a legal name for it.
Yep.
Tax strategy. Wow. So you're digging in there, getting your hands dirty, and saying, and we've already talked a little bit about how I won't give away any secrets because I'm not the expert, but they were telling me, well, who does the work and how much did they get paid and what do you pay somebody who does that kind of work? These are all things that have implications on your taxes.
Absolutely.
And they keep you from paying. Like I said, I've got a good friend who I won't name, but one year he was filed as, I'll mention that bar, as an LLC versus an S Corp, which I'm familiar with the two, but I don't know much about the difference of them. And when he went for one, he paid a lot less taxes versus the other. And that's why you bring somebody in like yourself.
Absolutely. Yes. So he went from being an LLC, well, and he's still an LLC. He just added a special S corporation tax treatment to his LLC.
The tax treatment there, everybody. How many people know about tax treatments? I thought that was something we had for our house when you make sure those pests stay away. But you want to get this treatment done right, too. for tax, maybe more important. Probably is. But very important, very neat to see. All right, so combined, now you each have 5 years doing this, right? In this specific niche?
5 years with the business, over
And how
10
many
years
years?
experience
10 years
doing
experience?
taxes.
Okay, yourself. And Tanika, how about you?
Yes, about 5 years with our business. We're coming up on 5 years, and we're getting excited about that. And so a few years, about 7 years total for me.
Okay, yeah. So between the two of you, almost 17, 18 years between the two of you, knowing what you're doing. That's a good amount of experience to be into a business. I've noticed that you guys have a lot of people that say nice things about you on your reviews already, too. Let's take a look at those. I put them up. I got those on the wall. We built this TV wall over here. And there it is on the wall. So we'll go to the wide cam. But tell me about this. 29 people, all of them said 5.0. I'm going to pick one of them out here randomly because there's going to be a 5.0. They all are. Darla Ellis with Lime Life Tax Accounting Delivery has her presentation at our B&I through awards chapter. She brought clarity to complex tax laws. Her strategies will allow you to pay less taxes and keep more money for yourself. Thank you, Darla, for sharing some of your tax secrets. All these reviews, how does it make you feel to have so many people saying such nice things about you?
It makes me happy. The reason that we do this work that we do is really to focus and, like I said, bring back. Sorry, I'm nervous.
No, you're
Carter.
fine. You're doing great. Imagine you're just talking to another dumb client, which is what I and
No. Okay, so we do this work to really help the average family that doesn't know how taxes implicate and take money away from their family. So the more that we can educate you, the better you're prepared to handle the tax situation that you're facing. So when I see those reviews, in my head, I go, oh my God, they got it. They got it. They're not just going to blindly continue to pay this tax, or they'll start to ask questions and go, do I have to pay this amount? Do I want to continue to overpay and not even realize that I'm overpaying? So bringing clarity, making it visible is exactly what I want to do with my clients.
Tanika, I mean, great words there. Do you agree? I mean, this is obviously something you can impact families quite a bit.
We can, and to add to what Darla just mentioned, one of our biggest missions when we decided to join forces and to start this journey together was to ensure that our clients are educated. You'd be surprised how many people are out there with businesses, in business for years. They come to us and they don't understand their financial statements. And so before they leave, we make sure they understand not only their financial statements, but what's on their tax returns.
Yeah. You would think somebody who's in business would have a better handle on this, but we're just business owners. We're just turning in the numbers. We get our payments from our clients, and we're just putting it all together and sending it off. But we don't even know what we're doing half the time. And there's people. How many people? What's the average mistake somebody makes? This is $500, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. What are the biggest mistakes that people are making with you?
So what we see, especially from a tax standpoint, either they write everything off in, because they don't want to pay the tax. So they're just creating expense after expense, and they write their business down and they don't owe tax, but their business also doesn't show profit. And then they go, I want to buy a new house. Well, you don't make money, so you're not going to get financed.
Right.
Because they look at your tax return.
Yeah.
There's ways to do tax strategy that keep you investor pretty, what we call investor pretty,
okay.
And yet reduce your taxable income. The other thing that we see people do, especially when they're selecting a tax firm, is they don't understand that there are differences in tax firms. So I'd say 85% of tax firms are compliance only. So that means they're going to make sure everything is done to the letter of the law, but they're not focused on helping you actually save on your bottom line. So just like you might go to your doctor, your internist, and they do an overall workup, but if they find something that needs additional care, they're going to send you to a specialist. Right. We're the specialists. We're the specialists that you come to from your compliance-based tax firm. And you say, hey, I've got this kind of serious problem. It's keeping me up at night. Go to see the specialist.
Did you get that one, everybody? The specialist, right? Write that one down. This is what you need, because every situation is unique, and there's always going to be something that, as a general counsel, right, that'll help you with the overview. But when you're compliant, make sure you're within the guidelines. But when there's an issue, you better have somebody that can zoom in on that particular. You don't go to general doctor for your heart problem to get a heart transplant, right?
Correct.
You're saying hopefully it doesn't get as bad as a heart transplant. But if you're to that point, then you definitely should have somebody who's an expert to corral that in lingo for us cowboys we talk about. Well, with that, let's talk a little bit about it. We're going to go and share with you some of the fun we had in the community and a little bit of the fun we get to do just out there talking to the fun people on our planet. Stay tuned for this, everybody.
All right, everybody, we're here with the SLU basketball team enjoying this awesome event. First up, Robbie, you're a little taller than me. I guess you play for the basketball team at St. Louis University.
I do that, yes, sir.
What's your position? How long have you been on the team?
I play center. This is going to be my second year here at SLU.
Are you excited about the upcoming season?
Oh, yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be a fun season. We can't wait to get started.
What do you find most exciting about this event here today at Delwood Rec Center?
I think just seeing the community get together, seeing the camaraderie between people, on this lovely holiday. Obviously it's a big thing to celebrate, and so just seeing everybody out here together having a good time, it's awesome.
Do you think I can help you maybe with a little bit of your slam dunks, maybe?
I think you can help me a lot, yeah.
All right, we'll work on that later. All right. Thank you, Robbie. What's your name?
I'm Dion Brown.
All right, Dion, what position you playing?
I play combo guard, sometimes small forward as well, so 1, 2, and 3.
I was not a basketball player at this level, obviously, everybody. So you shoot, rebound, dunk, the whole thing?
That's it, anything I can do.
How excited are you about playing for SLU this year?
I can't wait, it's got a great group of guys, it's my first year here, so I'm kind of meeting everyone for the first time, but I can't complain, I love it here.
How fun has this event been for you?
It's been great, we got to see people, we got to help out a little bit, taking out the trash, got to meet people, take pictures, spend time with the community, with the youth, so it's been great.
If you need any help with your three-pointer, you let me know.
Yeah, you can help me right now, actually. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Giddy up. What's your name?
Amari.
Mark, how you doing?
Amari.
Amari, I'm sorry. Got that. Amari, good to meet you. What position you play for SLU?
I'm guard.
You're a guard.
Yeah.
You can shoot, dribble, dunk, and the whole thing.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! That's what it is. So, We're talking about it. It's a busy business world out there, and we got to stay on top of it. But we do encourage people, that especially people who want to license the software and everything we do. We help. We're a business, by the way, everybody. And we say, hey, if you'd like to be effective with this, take these interviews and cut them up into clips. So we use a company that I can share with you, and we'll get a special deal with them because we're an affiliate. It takes the whole interview, cuts it into clips. It actually writes the post for you, and it says, reads what you said and converts it into text, and you just click post. It goes to all your social medias. And so shout out to Asmir, who was doing that for me in the past, cutting into clips. But an AI came in and took over. Now they're writing the post for you. I'm like, Asmir, love you, man. But he still helps me with other big. We had another charitable thing we did for boxing with the kids, and he edited all that together for us. So good stuff. Well, tell me then, most people have got to be concerned with saving money, or how do you best tackle taxes? This is a big place for do-it-yourselfers, right? A lot of people do. I'm guilty. But we talked about, Carter, we're going to fix some things you might have created a little bit. You don't want to get in trouble with the IRS, that's for sure. But let's do a cost analysis. Why should somebody use a tax service, and what are some of the best benefits to help people with that? Darla, want you to tell me about that?
So I tell people all the time, there are 78,000 pages of the tax code.
Hold on, I got to switch cameras for that one. Let's get us both on there. What?
There are
78,000
pages of the tax code. And most people that I meet, especially my DIYers, have read absolutely zero. Absolutely none. But they get access to these.
Guilty again.
They get access to the software, and you get dangerous, and you're like, I'm gonna just do these things and write off. And so we were talking about over the break. Especially being a business owner, you go in, you want to write off everything. You're trying to reduce your taxable income, and you reduce it down to almost zero because you don't want to pay taxes. And then you're trying to go and get financed, and the company's going, you don't make any money.
Yeah, you don't pay yourself.
So we can't finance you, right? So you end up not being investor pretty. There's a way to reduce your taxable income and remain investor pretty. And I guarantee you don't know how to do it, number one. Number two, if you're a business owner and you carry business insurance, you probably forgot to tell your insurance company that you were taking on the legal task of doing your taxes. So if you have problems, your insurance doesn't cover you. Our insurance, we have insurance, errors and omissions, specifically for the work that we do. So don't take in and add extra liability to yourself as a business owner.
These are big things. Yeah, take note on that one, everybody. You got some kind of insurance, right? But if you're doing your own stuff, they're going, not covered. And that's going to leave you liable.
Absolutely.
Tanika, these are concerns people don't realize that they're taking on. You like to help people with this stuff, right?
Absolutely. And going back into the tax representation arena, if you call the IRS, if you receive a letter and you call the IRS and you go to, maybe you have high tax debt. Let's say you owe $50,000 in taxes and back taxes, and you call the IRS, they'll give you a payment plan. They'll make arrangements with you, but it may not be in your best interest. What a lot of our clients don't know is that after your tax is assessed, meaning you file your taxes, which is why we always say, no matter what, at least file your tax return. The IRS has 10 years to collect after that tax is assessed. After that 10-year mark, it falls off. It's their statute of limitations.
There is a limitation with the IRS. Now, is it you can only collect your taxes for 7? Is that true, or how long is it you can still go back?
So you can only go back 3 years.
3, okay.
3 years.
Okay, yeah, that's right, 3.
Which is another reason why you want to file every year.
You got money owed to you, you don't go get it, then they just keep it.
Absolutely, they get to keep it.
See, we're learning a lot here, everybody. These are things that you should be knowledgeable about. But with regard to the analysis for reasons people should use a tax expert like yourself, is because they don't realize the tax write-offs and potential savings they could have and the liabilities that they're, like I said, I mentioned earlier in the first half of the show, a buddy of mine learned how to switch. He's like, it was a difference of $60,000 a year. Easy. Not everybody's going to know how to do all that. This is something you help people with.
Yes. Yeah, we do our process. It's an easy process. We start off with an investigation. We have to understand what has happened in your last 10-year history. After the investigation, which is it's almost like a diagnostic of your tax situation.
It's not like the IRS investigating it in your. Like
no, it's so non-scary.
Digging up information. You're trying to get the information.
Right, but we look at all the ways that you bring in money, how all of your income is taxed. Not all income is taxed in the same way. So we go in, we do the investigation, we run an analysis, and then we come back to you. And from there, we look at compliance and basically resolution. What does it take to get you from where you're at to where you want to be? And we chart that path and help you get it done.
There you go. That's why I put the hat on. When you start helping the community stuff that's related to people. I mean, how many people have small business owners? Gosh, they don't have any idea what they're getting into, and they're just going out there in the wild, wild west. And next thing they know, they got somebody knocking on their door. First, they send you those letters. Yeah, it says, "Oh, you owe some money. Oh, you owe some money. Oh, I'll get that with my next year." Too many of those. All of a sudden, that's where I got that automatic deduction out of my bank account. I'm like, where does this money go? Thank goodness I had.
You probably ignored some things. Or,
There were definitely some things I wasn't paying attention to, but it doesn't cost any extra to have somebody like yourself there. You're going to get paid, but people are going to save far more than what they would have spent with the government because they didn't realize.
absolutely. We actually offer a service where we watch your tax transcripts for you. So we get notified before you get the little, I call them get to know you better letters. Nobody wants that get to know you better letter.
Okay.
But we watch your tax transcripts. We get notified ahead of time. So we're actually able, and again, taking the scary out of it, we're able to call you up, say, hey, you're about to get a letter from the IRS. Here's what it says. Here's what it means. And, either you need to take action or you don't need to take action, or we'll take action in your behalf, or, we kind of just give you peace of mind.
I feel much better now because I was literally, we've recently just kind of made a big kind of revelation with the way we do the show. We used to add people that, as people say, if they wanted to be part of the show, they had to help us sponsor, cover costs up front. Now we say, if you like it, do it afterwards. Now everybody comes in and then everybody still wants it. So my tax burden is going through the roof, and I'm going to have to, I'm like literally like thinking about it last night. I didn't realize, I'm going, should I not make as much money this year because I don't want to pay the taxes because I don't understand what I'm doing? How about getting an expert that can help with this?
Absolutely.
All right. Tanika, tell me, why should somebody choose you guys?
Well, one reason they should choose us is because we're going to fix their problem. We're not going to put a Band-Aid on it, and they're going to walk away knowing exactly with a plan. It won't just, it's not like, can you pause that?
Yeah, no, you got it. Keep on going. You're doing good. But yeah, you don't want to just throw mud at it. You want to actually have a system in place, and that's what you bring to the table.
And so what we do to fix their problem is we ensure that they have a plan. They understand what the problem is. We ensure that they have a plan going forward, how we're going to execute that plan. And when we execute that plan, we understand when they walk away, they have full understanding. Education is number one in our service plans.
Can I piggyback on her?
Yeah, tell me.
So one of the unique things that we do when we work with our clients is if we do an investigation for you and we set the plan, it's literally in writing. We talk to so many clients that have worked with other firms, and they go, oh, I've got an S corp, I've got this offshore account, I got all these things, and I'm like, how much are you paying taxes? $270,000. So you've got all this stuff, and none of it worked for you.
Apparently,
when we do a plan for you and set up a plan, it is in writing. Activity 1, say we're going to give you that S corp tax treatment. Here's what it's going to cost you. Here's what it's going to save you. It is literally in black and white on paper. You have absolute numbers to go by, and that way you set KPIs and you're doing all the things that really hit bottom line and set SMART goals.
All right, we're going to finish up in the second half hour. We're going to have these ladies stick around for some more. Stay tuned, everybody. Giddy up.